You are worthy of everything that you desire, and you are capable of creating anything that you want. And you already know this. It's just that you've been conditioned to believe that you're not, that you can't. And you see, whenever we're faced with a desire or an opportunity or an option to do this, to create this, to go here, to receive this, to manifest this, we have a response to that. And that response comes out of our belief. And that belief is experienced to us as a sort of voice. Even if you don't hear it as a voice, it's a kind of voice. And that voice is someone from your past. Maybe it's a combination of people, that teacher you had, or your mother, or your father, or the bully, or maybe a friend, or fill in the blank with someone from the past who has instilled a voice of reason, a voice of responsibility, a voice of that's just not logical. It's a serious kind of voice that says, well, it's too good to be true. It's not for you. Other people maybe, but no, you can't. But you see, that voice has become your voice. Because in the moment of feeling that inspiration, seeing that possibility, being swept up by that desire, that vision, in that moment, I bet that that person is not with you when you respond with cringe or guilt or shame or disbelief, that sense of unworthiness that creeps up, where then you're kind of selling yourself out of less than what you desire, playing small, playing it safe, but that person is not here in this moment when this happens. Because that person, that voice, has become your own voice. And until you can see that, until you can know that, and until you can take responsibility for that voice that you have taken on as your own, and you will never be free to create and manifest and experience that, whatever it may be, as easily as you can snap your fingers. Because that is how easy it is, in truth. It's just that we impose, we interject, we interfere with reality, with our desires, by filtering them through these beliefs, these voices. But you see, when you, with compassion, face those voices, and you seek to understand why you incorporated that voice into your own, why you believed that you needed to believe in what that voice was saying, why you took it seriously, why you give it significance. Until you diffuse that, disarm that voice by virtue of your own belief, then it will rule you from your subconscious, from your unconscious, from the shadows, from the blind spot. And then you will have all the right reasons to blame your circumstances or this person, or you will have all the right evidence to suggest that, you see, it's just not possible. I keep trying, I keep going, but it never works. But I know you know that you're the creator of your reality. So if you're the creator of your reality, how can you also be the exception from that own rule, where then you seemingly create the experience of being the victim or being at the receiving end of life? Because you're not. You are at the source of your life. You are generating your reality and your experience out of your own beliefs, out of your own self-concept, out of your own self-narrative, the collection of those voices that you have picked up along the way, molding this one internal voice, which is either condemning or encouraging or undermining or uplifting. And when you don't investigate those voices that are telling you that it's too good to be true, that you're not worthy of it, that maybe 5 years from now, but right now, no. If you don't investigate those voices, and if you don't, with compassion, bring awareness to understand why you believe in them, why they're still seemingly ruling your reality, then you will never be free from them. And you'll either get to be right about your limitations, about where you're lacking, about what you're unworthy of, or you get to be free. You get to be free by virtue of investigating and understanding all that's within your consciousness, which is the source of what's creating your reality. But if you want to keep playing small, and you want to be right, and you want to blame, and you want to justify why you are where you are, and why you're stuck, and why it's not working, then you can never be free. You can never truly step into the power that you have and are as the creator of your reality, because you're lying to yourself. You're pretending like this voice is someone out there, still something out here, some power, some authority out here, some rule, some way of the world that is just the way that it is. And if I defy it, if I go against it, then there will be consequences, repercussions. There will be a threat to my safety, my survival, my security. You are the source of that. You are creating that. And in investigating that, if you don't agree with it, if you don't prefer it, then you, in the freedom, get to create what you prefer. And so that is your choice. It is the magic of your true self that gets to, in this moment, by virtue of declaring, of speaking, of believing reality to be what you want it to be, get to create that as your reality right now. And that is when anything is possible. And that's when you remember that you are worthy of anything that you desire, and that you are capable of creating everything that you want. But only when you first have known yourself, accepted yourself, taken responsibility for what you are believing is possible, where you are limiting your own reality, where you are entertaining ideas of lack that may have come from someone else, from somewhere else. But that doesn't matter anymore, because they are no longer here. That is no longer the case. It is within you. And that is why it is up to you right now to claim your own freedom, your own creativity, with courage, with compassion, by uprooting those beliefs, those voices that are not true to your true self, that are not uplifting. And when you can forgive those voices by forgiving yourself, when you can love those voices by loving yourself, when you can accept that you've been buying into these things by accepting yourself, now you are free. And from that fertile ground of freedom and creativity, you can create your reality. And there is nothing off limits. You are free to be, to become, to create, to manifest, and to experience anything that you can imagine. And that's just it. Because anything you can imagine is already existing. You would not be able to be aware of it if it was not already existing. The key is that you don't experience it in your reality, apart from your imagination, because there's a belief that's getting in the way. And so again, each moment, each now moment, in this eternal now moment of the unfolding of your reality, you will be faced with an ever-deepening, never-ending opportunity to reconcile the agreements and the choices and the decisions from the past, from those voices that have been unconscious, to uproot and illuminate with the compassion of your true self all of those limiting beliefs and ideas of lack, all those ways that you've been holding yourself back, keeping yourself safe and small, and in truth, hating yourself. Because it's the opposite of self-love to keep yourself small and contained based off of what someone else thinks, based off the opinion of someone else, based off of a rule of society that if I do this, I'll stand out and there might be consequences or repercussions if I do that. So better to keep myself small, better to keep myself safe. But you are the only one that suffers in that reality because you are selling out your true self. You are selling out your soul because your soul is infinite. Your true self is utterly free, infinitely creative. You are joy. You are love. You are that vibrant, playful spirit which knows no limitations, knows no boundaries. And the only way that you claim that and embody that is by uprooting and illuminating all the things that are incongruent with that. And you see, that's the great paradox, because you are always already free, and yet you must be believing something that is in conflict with that if you don't experience that. So again, this moment is showing you where you are undermining yourself, where you are believing in a voice that is not true to you, and where you are buying into a limitation or a sense of lack that is not born of your soul. And that is the good news, because all of this is an inner game. And it is up to you right here, right now, to bring compassion, to bring love, to bring awareness to this shadow, this unconscious. And through that, integrating the blind spots, you become whole, you become free, and you become that childlike creative spirit once again, where by virtue of your imagination, you get to create your reality to be whatever you can dream it to be. And that is your God-given birthright. You need only reclaim it through your responsibility of seeing what you've been believing and choosing what you want to believe.